Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vivek Peshwe. We'll begin this session at 3 o'clock sharp. We have another 14 minutes. If any of your colleagues are yet to join, please share the YouTube link with them. This session is being streamed live on YouTube. In today's workshop, I will cover what is VSK, how to actually update your teacher details, as well as a live demonstration on how to use the smart attendance chatbot. Now, I will be conducting this session and I'll be doing a lot of speaking and sharing my screen. However, on YouTube, I have my team, Amit, Sifo, and Pratik, who will be answering your questions. Any questions that they are not able to answer, please keep the questions towards the end of the session and I will answer them myself. So, as I said, we'll begin the session at 3 o'clock. We have another 13 minutes to go. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I think so we've reached approximately more than 100 teachers are watching this session today. We'll wait for another maybe 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. Few others also will be joining the session. Once they join in, we will begin. Just to reiterate to those who have just joined today, all right, I have put up the agenda in the channel. All right. Today we will be talking about three things. The first thing is I'll give you an introduction on VSK, on Vidya Samiksha Kendra, and what exactly it is that Vidya Samiksha Kendra is doing. Second, I will take you all through on how to update your teacher details. And three, what I will do is I will give you all a live demonstration on how to update your teacher details, as well as how you will be able to mark the teacher attendance on the smart attendance chatbot. So we'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes. All right. I know it is 3 o'clock. For those who might be joining a little bit late, we'll give it another 2 minutes before we begin today's session. Everyone. So thank you everyone for joining in today, and we'll begin today's session. All right. So as I said, we'll try to follow the agenda as much as possible. But before we start on the agenda, I would like to get a confirmation from you in the YouTube chat itself. Are you able to hear me loud and clear? Am I audible? If I am audible, you can just put it down in the chat that it is audible. Great. So, first let me tell you about Vidya Samiksha Kendra. So, Vidya Samiksha Kendra is a department that is there in SCRT. So Vidya, as I was saying, Vidya Samiksha Kendra is a department that's there in the SCRT building in Porvorim. At any point of time, if any of you all want to visit and see what exactly is being done over here, you all can walk in anytime, right? So Vidya Samiksha Kendra, what it does is with the help of technology, we are trying to assist the teachers and the students in whatever ways possible, whether it be administrative or in academics as well. The vision, so the vision for Vidya Samiksha Kendra is to help students to learn better by improving student learning outcomes and by analyzing the efficacy of different academic and administrative measures in education. It is to help teachers teach better and officers to decide better. Now, VSK works on a 6A framework. The 6A's are attendance, assessment, adaptive learning, administration, accreditation, and all this it does with the help of AI. Now, there are a lot of chatbots across each of the A's. Assessments, you all already are aware of the Parak chatbot, which is live, which we will not talk about much in detail today. What we are going to talk today about is the first A, which is attendance. Currently, everyone in schools are maintaining registers to mark the attendance. In case you need to analyze the attendance or you need a cumulative report, you have to sit down and ask your MIS or your data entry operators to collate the data. The idea of digitizing attendance is to reduce the work. So the attendance bot is being launched in a phase-wise manner. What we will first focus on is getting into a habit of marking the attendance of teachers on a regular basis. Once we complete that phase, we'll then move on to the next one, which is marking student attendance. The third phase will be marking midday meal attendance as well. And once we have got into the habit of marking attendance on the smart chatbot, we can then maybe in the future look into doing away from the register system. But again, that's a long way forward. The first step is to make a habit to mark the attendance on the smart attendance chatbot. To create a habit, as all of you are teachers, you all know already, to create a habit, it takes time. So this is going to be a long process. Of course, we will give you, maybe regular reminders on when and how to mark the attendance. And also to enable, to make it easier for teachers or headmasters to mark the attendance, we have kept a pretty large window when you can mark the attendance. The attendance has to be marked on a daily basis, and you can mark it from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. However, for day schools, it would be recommended to mark the attendance of your teachers before 12 o'clock. And for the afternoon schools, try and mark it before 5 o'clock. That would help us in getting the data real time. So getting a little bit more into detail of the 6A, so your attendance is digitizing attendance for teachers and students from all the schools, be it government aided, or even private schools. Assessments, we have various assessments such as Nipun, we've got Parak. I'm sure a lot of you all have already participated in the Nipun assessment that happened twice last year, and you are currently participating on Parak as well. The rest of the A's, such as adaptive learning, is a digital suite of bots which includes your video library, Storyland, maths practice, etc. If you have not joined the WhatsApp channel, please join the WhatsApp channel. I will be posting regular updates on various chatbots that are live in the state, which students can use free of cost so that it can benefit them to make them better in their studies. My colleagues who are there sitting on YouTube, they will post the WhatsApp channel in the link. Amit and Saifo, if you can please put up the WhatsApp channel in the link. By joining the WhatsApp channel, you will get regular updates on all the VSK activities that are ongoing. Under administration, we have live reports to track your Parak weekly performance. How are your students faring in the weekly practice quiz? There's a parent connect bot. We have a digital portal that will be introducing very soon, wherein you can maintain digital records of students and teachers alike. Under accreditation, we have a school inspection bot, a field monitoring bot, again to capture data digitally so that we can access it and give you access as well whenever required. And of course, the last A, which is using generative AI. So in the pipeline in the future, we have planned to introduce a generative AI wherein you can just ask the chatbot, what is it exactly you need? All right. For example, if you need a student's report card from a particular school, once you are verified as a person from that school, you can ask the bot and the chatbot will give you all that information. But again, as I was saying, all this is in pipeline. Today, we are here only to talk about the first A, which is attendance. So I will pause for a minute or two and I will shift my screen to the Excel document or the Google Sheet document that I had shared in the WhatsApp channel. If you have not joined the WhatsApp channel, my colleagues will share the WhatsApp channel link as well as they will share the Google Sheet link as well, where all your teacher details have been updated. Now, it may happen that the teacher details we have and what is exactly there in your school may not match in certain scenarios. So what you need to do is update those files and update that data. Now, once all the schools update that data, we will collate all the data and we will send it to our technical team who will then update those details. The updating details on the Excel document and on the bot, there is a slight gap. It takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to actually update the data on the chatbot. So before I go on further ahead about the chatbot, let me now move to the Excel document. So this is what the Excel document looks like. If you have not got this document, please join the WhatsApp channel. We'll share it there. In addition to that, my colleagues who are monitoring YouTube right now as I'm speaking will share the list or the link of this Excel file on the YouTube channel as well. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is how do you go ahead and update this file, or how do you go ahead and view the data for this file. So in this case, I'm just going to take an example. All right. The first school that you can see, which is Saraswat Vidyalaya. Now, let us say, for example, I am an administrator or a clerk or a computer teacher in this school. What I will then do is, I will hover my mouse icon on this and open this file. Please ensure you're opening only your school file. Do not make any changes on that previous sheet. Now, assuming I am the computer teacher or the person who is filling up this data, I'm going to highlight a few columns. These are the columns which you need or which the school needs to fill up. The first column A is your school UDI score, and this remains common. The second is your block. The third is your school name. Fourth is the employee name. Now, these first four columns, which I have highlighted, is something that the school needs to fill up. The employee code will not be filled up by the school. This is a code that will be given by the state to you. So do not touch or do not edit this particular column. Leave it as it is. The next column which you need to update is the designation column. Now under designations, you will have a drop down. Now we have tried to add as many designations as possible. However, it may happen that the designation that you want to choose may not be on this list. In that case, you can choose the designation which is closest or most suitable to that particular teacher. Every school has to have a head of the school. For example, the head of the school can be a headmaster or a headmistress or an in charge of the school. Only the headmaster will get permission to mark the attendance of a teacher on the chatbot. Other than the headmaster or the in charge or the headmistress or the principal in that manner, the other person who can mark teacher's attendance would be an assistant headmaster. So in this case, as you can see on this file, there is no assistant headmaster. So what you can do is you can temporarily, all right, just for the sake of marking attendance, you can update this file and maybe the most senior most teacher or a teacher you can mark that person as an assistant headmaster or a vice principal. When you do that, so just as an example, I'm going to mark as assistant headmistress. So in this scenario, two people will be able to mark the attendance for the teachers of your school, the headmaster and the assistant headmistress. On a daily basis, only one person has to mark the attendance. The reason we have given the permission to the assistant headmistress to also mark the attendance is in case the headmaster or the headmistress is absent, then at least the assistant headmistress can mark the attendance. Moving on to the next column is employee type. You need to fill up this column as well. You do not need to fill up last modified date time, that will be filled up by me. The is active column is a very important column and I will explain to you why. Now, the is active column is very simple. There's just two options that you have, a yes and a no. What does it mean? If the is active column, the teacher is marked as yes, it means that this teacher is there or teaching in this school as of today. If you mark it to no, that would mean that this teacher is not belonging or is not there in that school anymore. Now the reasons for not being there in that school may be very different. It may be that the teacher got transferred, it may be that the teacher is retired, or it may be the teacher just left the school. For any such reason, if the teacher is no longer in the school, you have to mark this as no. Otherwise, you keep it as yes. When it is yes, you will be able to see the teacher's name on the attendance board. If you mark it as no, this teacher's name will not be visible on the attendance board. The next is gender, date of birth, appointment date, district name, and school management. Again, this is for you to fill up. So, you need to fill up only the columns that I have highlighted. The columns which are not highlighted, you can leave them as it is. That data will be filled up by me. So I will pause for a minute, all right, and we will take. I'll see if there are any questions. If you all have any questions up until now in regards with updating this file, please do let me know. I'll pause for a minute or two just to take questions if there are any. So I see one question wherein there's a question about teachers on CCL or maternity leave. The option to mark CCL or maternity leave is there. If the teacher is on a CCL or a maternity leave, you will still keep the teacher records as it is. You will not mark the teacher as inactive. You will keep the teacher as active. However, when marking the attendance on the chatbot, you will get the option of marking that this teacher is on a CCL or a maternity leave. Half-day leave also is there on the chatbot. I will show you the different values or different types of leaves and presence and absence that are there on the chatbot. So the chatbot demonstration, I will do a live demonstration. Right now, if you have any questions regarding how to update the file that I just shared, you can ask those questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the file. I have shared the teacher file details in the link. Good question, Pooja. So let me go back to the sheet. So question that one teacher has put is, what if I want to add new teachers? If you want to add new teachers, you can add more rows at the bottom. And what I will do is, I will copy these details here. That's because the details will remain the same. I will enter new teacher. I will not enter the code. I will enter the designation. I can enter the type. So let me put a start type. Is active? Yes. Let's say the teacher is a female. I will enter the date of birth. I will enter the date of appointment. And I can copy this value here. And I will mark as government dated. That is it. In that manner, you can add a new teacher. Do not delete any rows. If a teacher has left your organization, you can just come to the is active column, just column I, and you can change it to no. So once you add a new teacher, the teacher code will be assigned by the state. Now, as I said, we are updating the files on the database for all the schools in Goa, which is 1,500 schools approximately. So what we do is, the process we follow is, we accumulate or collect all the data from all the schools and only then we update it. So the updating process usually happens once every 3 to 4 weeks. So once that update happens, only then it will be reflected on the chatbot. Please do not expect that if you make the changes on the file, it will immediately change on the chatbot. As I said, I'll repeat myself. The process currently is manual. We are working towards a way where it can be automated, but until then, it's a manual process. So once you update the details on the file, it takes around 3 to 4 weeks for us to update it on the chatbot. If anyone is facing any issues with opening the file or accessing your file or your link, please drop an email to bskde.goa@gmail.com. Please send an email to this email ID along with the details. All right, so I'm just going to give another minute to read some more questions. Please be on. I'll just get back to you in a minute. So my colleague just informed me there are a lot of other questions which I may have missed, all right. In case I have missed the questions, all right, I will take them towards the end, not to worry. The attendance chatbot is for all grades from 1 to 10. Sorry, from 1 to 12. All right. It is for grades 1 to 12. Currently, it is not live for pre-primary. It's applicable for grades from 1 to 12. Jasmita has a query saying her school is not visible on the file. Jasmita, if you can please send an email to bskd.goa@gmail.com with your UDICE code and your full name. My team, comprising of Prateek, Amit, and Sifo, will be more than happy to help you. I have put down the email ID in the chat. Great. So, if I have missed any questions and your question has not been answered, I'll repeat myself. All right. You can send an email to vskde.goa@gmail.com and my team will help you or call you to solve the query. All right. So, along with the UDIS code, please do mention your name and your contact number as well so we can speak to you. So I'll just take one last question before I move on to the live demonstration of the attendance chatbot. So Sureka Patil has a question. If the code is already allotted and the names are repeated, how to delete and add new names? So Sureka, if the names are repeated, as I said, you can deactivate one name by making that one name inactive. So under the is active column, for the repeated entry, you can mark as no. If you're still facing a confusion, drop an email to vskd.go@gmail.com and we'll be more than happy to help you on the file. Rahul, unfortunately, the app is not available for the iOS, but you can open the attendance chatbot in your browser. The functionality for iOS and Android remains the same. However, for iOS, there is no app. You can open it in the browser. For Android, you can download the SwiftChat application. All right. So what I'm going to do now is, but before I move to SwiftChat, let me show you if you're accessing on your computer or on your desktop, all you can do is type SwiftChat and that particular window will open. Share this in the YouTube chat as well. So for iOS users, you can use this link to access SwiftChat. And users, you can download from the Play Store. On your phone, you open the link for SwiftChat. So you will get this app. It's a small blue and green icon with a small Swifty bird, and you can install it on your phone. Now, many of you may have a question, why SwiftChat? I was talking about the attendance bot. So SwiftChat is the platform which is hosted by VSK, all right? And on this platform, you have the chatbots. Chatbots are the ones that we have already, like Parak, attendance, and many more, all right? So once you install SwiftChat, the next step that you need to do is you need the attendance chatbot link. Once you install the chat, you will not automatically get the attendance chatbot link. Once you install SwiftChat, we will share one more link with you. Amit, Siko, if you can please share the attendance chatbot link in the chat. So once you have installed SwiftChat, you need to click on the attendance chatbot link. Once click on the attendance chatbot link. Just give me a minute. My internet connection is a little bit slow today because, as you know, of bad weather. So once you have installed Swift and you have clicked on the link, the smart attendance chatbot link that my colleague is going to share in the YouTube channel. For accessing for the first time, it will ask you to enter your school code. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to enter a test ID. What you need to do is enter your school UDICE code. Your school UDICE code is a 11-digit number provided by the central government. If you are not aware of your school UDICE code, please speak to your headmaster, or you can even Google it and you will be able to get your UDICE code. Once you enter the UDICE code, it will populate the details of your school, such as your school code, your school name, your block, and your district. If the details are correct, you can confirm that this is your school. Now, once you confirm the school, it will ask you for your teacher code. Now, as I said, you will have the teacher code in the Excel document. I'm going to enter again for testing purposes. I have a test ID or a test code, which I will copy, and I will come here and I will paste it. Once I paste the test ID, it will tell me that this is the ID, this is the name, and this is the designation. I will confirm that yes, this is correct. Once I confirm that the details are correct, it will tell me I am now successfully registered. The registration process has to be done only once. Once you are registered as a headmaster, you have admin rights. So as a headmaster, you have a sort of an admin rights because you are the head of the school. As a headmaster, you can mark teachers' attendance, student attendance, as well as midday meal attendance. But as I said, we are trying to launch the attendance bot in a phase-wise manner. Overburdening you and asking you to do everything in the first step itself will be challenging, not just for you, but for anyone else. Which is why, first time, we'll only stick with the teacher's attendance. So headmasters and headmistresses, in charge, principals, vice principals who are there on the call today, it's important you take note of what I'm going to do now. So I will click on take teacher attendance. Okay, so I think so I have already marked the attendance for this particular school today. So again, for testing purposes, I'm going to take from Saraswat Vidyalaya, I'm going to take the credentials from live from here itself. So what I will do is I will take the UDICE code from here. Now, since I'm marking attendance for another school, I have to edit the details again. I will enter the UDICE code. I will confirm the details. I will now enter teacher ID. Now, once I enter the teacher ID, it will again give me the details to confirm the name and the designation. I will confirm that yes, this is correct. And I will now get the option of taking the attendance. So as a headmaster, I will mark the teacher attendance. Once I click on take teacher attendance, it will give me the option of recording the attendance. I will click on record attendance. Now, this is the list of teachers that are there in that school. As you can see, every teacher has a 5-digit unique code which is shown there. Now, by default, everyone is marked as present. If you choose to submit and everyone is marked as present, so before I continue, I've just got a message from my colleague that there might be some audio issues. Before I continue ahead, I would like to know from all of y'all, are you able to hear me clearly? If you're not able to hear me clearly, can you please put it down in the chat? Okay. All right. So just give me a minute. Let me just check my internet connection again. I think so there might be a problem with the internet connection. Please give me a minute. I will check and I will get back to you. Please be on the line. All right. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So what I've done is I just closed. I had some background services running in the end. All right. So what I've done is I've closed that. All right. I may not be able to see your questions live, but my colleagues will let me know about the questions you are asking. All right. So I was at a stage where I was showing you SwiftChat. So as I was saying, by default, everyone is marked as present. If you choose to submit the attendance and say that everyone is present, right? So if you see there's a long list of teachers. If you say everyone is present and choose to submit, you will get a warning message. Are you sure you want to submit the attendance? And you, as you can see, there's a timer. If you don't cancel it before the timer gets over, the attendance will get submitted. Now, as of today, once the attendance is submitted, you will not be able to make any changes. So, please ensure you're marking the attendance correctly. I'll repeat myself. Once you mark the attendance and submit it, and you click on submit, you will not be able to make any changes to that day's or today's attendance. So please be careful before you submit the attendance. Now, let us assume a teacher is not present. Then what are the options that are there available for you? If you click on the drop down, you have absent, you have half leave, you have full leave, you have holiday. Now, holiday is supposed to be marked only when there is a sudden or an emergency holiday. For example, last Monday, in Goa, it was declared a holiday because of heavy rains. At that point of time, you can choose to mark as holiday. Then you have maternity leave, paternity leave, restricted leave, comp off. Then you have something called training, workshop, and study leave. Now, Please be very, very careful when marking this particular option. This option is only to be marked when the teacher is on duty but not in the school and has gone for some training or workshop. Only then you need to mark this. Otherwise, you will need to mark it appropriately. You then have the options of special leave, under suspension, leave without pay. You have something called others as well. In case the option that you want to mark is not there in this entire list, you can mark as other. Avoid marking others as much as possible. Then you have half day first half day second half. You have childcare leave, you have earned leave, and you have discretionary holiday. These are the options we have added for now. If you feel there is something missing, please send us an email and we will try to get it added when we update this chatbot. So, let us assume that everyone is present today. I will click on submit and I will then click on, once I'm sure that the attendance that I have marked is correct, I will then click on the submit button. Once I click on the submit button, the attendance gets recorded. If I try to take the teacher attendance again, it will give me a warning message saying the teacher attendance has already been submitted for today. Simple, isn't it? If everyone is present in your school, it will take less than 2 to 3 minutes to mark the attendance of your teachers. Now, I saw it previously in the chat, many teachers said, I cannot see the teacher attendance, I can see only student attendance. Now, there are multiple reasons that might be so. As I said before, the first and most important reason is only heads of the schools, such as headmaster, headmistress, principal, vice principal, assistant headmaster, in charge of the school, only they can mark teacher attendance. If you are the headmaster or you are the in charge or you are the assistant principal or assistant headmistress and you still cannot see the teacher attendance, then the reason for that is on your file that we have shared with you, your designation would be incorrect. For example, let us assume that Smita was the headmistress. If I put her details on the chatbot, please note she's a teacher. She may actually be a headmistress, but on this file, she is designated as a teacher. If I edit the registration and I enter the new teacher's details, of course, it will ask for the UDICE code first. It will then ask me for the teacher code. Once I confirm the details, I get registered. And as a teacher, I can only see two options, student and midday meal. As of today, for all the schools in Goa, there are only around 60 schools for whom we have enabled or whom we have said you can mark student attendance. That's because, as I said, we want to test everything and give you the best experience possible. So as of today, for the rest of the schools, leaving the 60 schools aside, which we had already intimated way back in February, the rest of the schools, please only mark your teacher's attendance. As I said, if you're a headmistress and you're not able to see the option of taking teacher's attendance, you need to go back to this file and you need to check what is your designation on this file. If it is as a teacher and you're a headmistress or a headmaster, you need to update that designation. Once you update that designation, we will collate the data for all the 1,500 schools in Goa. We will clean the data. We will check for errors, for any discrepancies. It takes approximately a week or two to check for all this data cleaning. If you correctly enter the data, it will not be a problem, but we check. And once our checks are complete, we give it to the data and tech team to update the data. Since it's a manual process for now, it takes approximately 2 to 4 weeks to get it updated on the chatbot. So it may be that you have updated the file, but the bot will get updated after 2 to 4 weeks. Now, many of you all might say, what if the details of my school are not updated? I'm a headmistress or a headmaster, and some of the teachers in the list that I can see are incorrect. What do I do then? Yes, I have corrected the details on the file, but it is not reflecting on the chatbot. Do I still have to mark the school attendance? The answer is yes. So, why I am saying yes? So, as a headmaster, I'll just go back to the attendance. Okay, I'll not be able to actually do this teacher attendance. Let me take another school. The reason I cannot take the teacher attendance again, as I said before, it's because you can mark the attendance only once in a day. So this school file also, which I have just opened, no one will be able to mark the attendance because there's no one assigned as a in charge. So this school needs to update this file correctly. Let me take another school. If you see in this school, Harmeet Saini is the principal. So let's take this school for now. I'll have to change the school code again. Yes. I will paste the details here. I will confirm that this is my school. Session. Okay. So once I confirm that this is my school, I then will select the employee code of the principal. I'll enter the principal code. Once I enter the principal code, I will say yes, the details are correct. I will again then click on record attendance, take teacher attendance. I will then click on record attendance. And I can see again the list of teachers. Now let us say, for example, as you see here, sometimes there are errors. And it happens because we are all collecting the data manually. So in this case, as you can see, the person's name is mentioned twice. So what you can do is, for one teacher you can mark as present, for the other teacher you can mark as other, because that is a mistake. Till we make the correction, you can mark it as other. In the same way, let's say Arjun Srinivasan is no longer there in the school. He has left the school or he has retired, but his name is still showing up in the list. For now, till the data gets updated, you can mark it as other. The rest of the details, if they are correct, you can accordingly mark them present or absent. But if there is any mistake in this data, you can then mark it as other. So other is an option to be marked only if there is an error on this list of names. Else, you will mark it appropriately as present, absent, or on leave. I hope that is clear to everyone. So what happens, right? Next. So before I actually go ahead and show you what are the advantages of you marking the attendance, how as a headmaster is this going to help you? All right. Before I show you that, I will pause for a minute. Anyone has any questions? Please do let me know. I will pause for a minute. I'll try to open the YouTube channel. Anyone has any questions? Please do let me know. Uh, just send me the document on WhatsApp. WhatsApp करो. WhatsApp. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to open the YouTube channel which all of you are on, so that I can access your questions as well. My colleague also has made a note of all the questions that are there today. He's going to send me the link as well on WhatsApp, so I'll just check it as well. So Ernestine had a question saying on my teachers list, many are marked as headmasters. So Ernestine, what you need to do is you need to make the changes to that file. Once you make the changes to the file, we will try and update it as soon as possible on the chatbot. So Pacey DeCosta has a question, what is the time, when should the particular time or when should the attendance be marked? Pacey DeCosta, for day schools, the attendance should be marked before 12 o'clock. For afternoon schools, you can mark the attendance up until 5 o'clock in the evening. So for all those teachers and headmasters who are, who want more updates on VSK, I would request you to please join the WhatsApp channel. Okay, the WhatsApp channel will have all the information. I will keep posting updates over there about different workshops that we have. Whatever support is required, I will keep posting messages over there. All right. So please join the WhatsApp link. The WhatsApp channel is very important. It is my only way or mode of real-time communication with teachers and headmasters. So please do that. So Vidya had a question, what about NSQF and counselors who are coming for 2 days in school? Vidya, for now, yes, I understand that's a challenge. For now, you can add them on your list. When they are coming to your school, you can mark them as present. When they are not coming to your school, you can mark them as others. Upendra has a similar question. What if a teacher is having two charges of schools, three days? Upendra, if you are reporting to two schools, the day you are in school one, then you can be marked as present. The day you are in school two, you mark as again present. When you are not there in school one, you can mark as other. If you are a headmaster for two different schools, please send us an email. We will contact you and we will let you know how to proceed on that. Only in case you are in charge of 2 schools. If your school name is not there on that file, Jasmita, please drop us an email. The email ID is bske.goa@gmail.com. Yes, if a teacher is on sick leave, you have the option to mark sick leave. Link to join WhatsApp group. Amit, Sifo, can you please share the link again in the group? The WhatsApp link, please. If possible, can you please pin the WhatsApp link message in the chat? Rekha, if there is no network in the school, you can come home and mark the attendance. But you need to do so before 5 o'clock in the evening. For teachers facing network issues, if you are not able to mark the attendance in the school, please come home. When you come home, you can mark the attendance. You can mark the attendance until 5 o'clock in the evening. For non-teaching staff, you can also add the non-teaching staff in that list. You can start marking their attendance as well. Again, so I'll just repeat my words. I will take that back. Not the non-teaching staff. Your lab assistant, yes, you can mark their attendance. The bot is not for non-teaching staff yet. Once we get an update about non-teaching staff, I will let you know. Yes, you need to enter the substitute teachers' names as well. Contract teachers also need to be marked. Attendance needs to be marked on the attendance bot. Contract teacher is marked in place of in charge. So this is a very good question. So Sneha Kumbar had a question. I will, speak the question so that everyone can hear. The question by Sneha Kumbar is, what if the contract teacher is deputed in the place of an in charge? As the in charge itself or himself is on leave or on a CCL. In that case, that's a very unique situation. In that case, Sneha, what you can do is speak to your in charge, ask your in charge to share the teacher code of his teacher code with you, and you can then use the in charge's teacher code to mark the attendance. Suchita has a question. Morning session, I have no internet connection. Suchita, you can come home. We can make an exception. Please ensure that you mark the attendance before 5 o'clock. So, very good question, Janice. So, yes, from when should you mark the attendance, right? You can start marking the attendance from right now. Ideally, it would have gone live last week, but because of technical issues, I was not able to conduct a detailed training session. So please start marking the teacher attendance from today itself. You have to do it every day. I will send regular reminders maybe once a day for the next couple of weeks on the WhatsApp channel so it becomes a habit for you. Once it does, I will stop sending those reminders on a regular basis. You can mark the attendance right away. All right. The list, again, even if you update the list today, the attendance bot will not get updated at least for another 2 or 3 weeks. So at least whose attendance you can mark for now, mark their attendance. If a name is showing up incorrectly on the chat bot, you mark it as other for now. Dhanashri, I would request again for everyone who is asking to share the Excel link files, please join the WhatsApp group. Once today's session is over, I will post all the links as well as a user manual on how to use a chatbot in the WhatsApp channel. So please join the WhatsApp channel first. For everyone's benefit, I am going to again share the link. I've put the WhatsApp channel in the link. Okay, I'm going to move on now. My colleague has sent me, which I may have missed. All right. So I'm just going to move on to that. You have to record the attendance on your phone itself. There is no device that is going to be provided. Please use your mobile phone. What is the code from St. Anne's High School? The teacher code is already mentioned in the file. Your school code will be visible. I mean, you should know your school code. If not, you can Google it. So there are a lot of questions over here, such as how do I change the names on the list, which I have already covered. If your school is not showing up on the file, please drop an email to vskde.goa@gmail.com. If a new teacher has been transferred to your school, you need to add that teacher to the file, to your school file, and we will then update it on the chatbot within 2 to 4 weeks. Vinay Riker has a question about the student's name. Vinay Riker, if you can please share your contact number, we will contact you on your phone and we'll speak to you about students' attendance and student names. I don't want to confuse everyone by talking about the student details today because today we're talking only about the teacher attendance. So please share your number in the, I mean, you can email it or you can email us on vskd.go@gmail.com and we'll contact you and let you know how to go ahead with the student attendance. Alpa Desai, click on the WhatsApp channel link, but I can't remain there for a long time. Alpa, once you click on the WhatsApp channel link, you have to click on the follow button. It automatically gets stored on your phone in WhatsApp, and you can then visit the channel anytime to see the notifications. There is no application, unfortunately, for an iPhone. You can open SwiftChat and the attendance chatbot on the browser. Raghunath, workshops. So, everyone, I have already scheduled multiple workshops for the future in the upcoming weeks, which is why I am saying please join the WhatsApp channel. I will post a schedule of workshops I will conduct. I know as teachers you will need proper support, you will need more support. So I will conduct more workshops. That is my surety to you. But for you to get news about these workshops and when these workshops are being conducted, you need to join the WhatsApp channel. Please join the WhatsApp channel. I will share the date and the time for the next session. So on the channel, I will also share a user manual on how to use the attendance bot. You can refer to that as well. In addition to that, I will conduct more workshops, join the WhatsApp channel, and I will share the schedule of the future workshops. Joella, if you don't have access to the teacher details file, please drop us an email. Ideally, we had given access to everyone, but maybe due to a technical issue, you don't have access. Drop us an email at bskd.goa@gmail.com and we will contact you and solve your issue. So very important, everyone. For any issues that you have, any technical administrative issues regarding the chatbots or VSK, you need to drop an email to vskde.goa@gmail.com and we will contact you and solve your problem. We are available from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 or rather 5:15 p.m. All right, you can call us or you can email us at that time and we will respond to you. Now, very important, all right, These files that you see, there is a deadline to update these files. All right, because we have to update the data as well on the chatbot. The deadline to update these files is next Wednesday, 31st of July. So I will repeat that. The deadline to update all the teacher names of your files is 31st of July. Once it is updated, once on 31st end of day, the files will be locked. You will no longer have access to these files. It will not be opened again for some time. Once it is locked on 31st of July, I will collate, me and my team will collate the data. We will do the corrections. We will clean the data. We will send it to our team to update the chatbot. That will take approximately another 1 to 2 weeks. All right. So I'll repeat myself again. 31st of July is the deadline to update this file. And with that, that's it from me today. I thank everyone today who has attended this session. It is only with your help that we can, make the education system better. All right, we're striving to do that, but we need your help and your cooperation. Whenever you need support from a VSK regarding the chatbots and the VSK initiatives, you can drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you, everyone. We'll be ending the session maybe in the next 5 minutes. If you have any questions anymore, please do post in the chat. So I have a very good question has been asked by one teacher, Amina. The question is, I have got a teacher code, but I have been transferred to another school. And the old code is now showing wrong. So Amina, since we're currently still, collecting data manual, there is a slight process for this. All right. So what you will need to do is your old school will have to deactivate you on their file. So they'll have to mark you as no, inactive as no. And your new school has to assign or add your name to the new school file. Once that is added, we will assign a new teacher code to you. Until then, you will not be able to you cannot use your old teacher code from a different school in another school. All the teacher codes are mapped to schools. So for example, a teacher code 1234 can only be used in one school. You cannot use it in another school. That is unfortunately a technical limitation that we have right now. In the future, all right, as we introduce more digital initiatives, the codes will most likely remain the same, irrespective whether you get transferred from a school. But for now, what you need to do is you need to remove yourself from the other file, from the other school. So you can contact your old school, tell them to mark you as inactive. In your new school, you will tell them to add you as a new teacher. Once you get added as a new teacher, when we are updating the file, we will give you a new teacher code. In case you're not able to understand, or maybe I'm not very clear enough in communicating, give us a call or drop an email to us with your contact number. We will speak to you, all right, and we'll give you a proper solution. All right. I hope that clears everything. Leolona Fernandez, headmistress's name is not there in the Excel sheet. You need to add the headmistress then. All right. If you're still facing an issue, again, drop us an email with your contact number. We'll reach out to you and help you solve your problem. Immaculate Conception has a query. Bot does not work on mobile but only on Wi-Fi. That's not, I mean, it may be a technical issue from your end. We have checked the bot works fine even on my phone. All right. Either check your internet connection. Okay. It's most likely due to the internet connection that it is not working on your phone. If it's working on Wi-Fi and not working on a mobile data, you need to check your mobile data. All right. The bot is working fine. And I think so that is it for today. Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So, offline session. Priya, I understand offline session, yes, would be great, but please understand to call 14,000. We have 14,000 teachers in Goa. To call all of you all offline requires a lot of approvals, and there's a lot of big process following that, right? It won't be possible on a very short notice. We will try in the future to organize one. Until then, we will organize as many online sessions as possible. In case you have a specific issue, Priya, at any point of time, whenever you are around in Panjim next to SCRT, any of you all can please drop in and we will be more than happy to help you or give you a one-on-one session as well. Thank you, Roy. That helps. Great. So with that, I will end the session for today. Thank you again, everyone, for attending today's session. Have a good evening. Those of you who mark your attendance, posting the attendance, please click on the link and mark your attendance. So for those who are struggling to follow the WhatsApp channel, I will just show you once more I'll show you how you can follow the WhatsApp channel. So you can click on channels, you can click on Goa VSK SwiftChat, click on Goa VSK, and if you are already following it, then you will not get the option to follow. As an admin, I am not able to see it, but you will be able to see a follow button. You can also subscribe to the, click on the bell icon so that whenever there's an update, you will get a notification. I hope that solves the problem. Thank you.